You want to really hear what's happening in the crypto gaming space? I've been in it every single day for years, but it's not about experience. I watched a Hell's Kitchen episode where this guy was saying, I have 37 years of pizza making experience. I'm better than you. I'm better than you ever could be. I don't care if you worked with Michelin star restaurants. He's talking to Gordon Ramsay, or you've really transformed the culinary industry. It does not matter. I am better than you because I have more experience. I hear this all the time, but they're wrong. They're very wrong. I've been in the meetings. I've talked to the CEOs. I've spent day in and day out understanding how this industry works. And today I'm going to be giving the lowdown alpha on what is happening in the actual inside mind of the crypto gaming space. The alpha you actually need to hear. None of this stupid fluff of people going out there and saying, September is Rectember, so we're just going to have to hold on to our cryptocurrencies. And then hopefully at some point it's going to go well for us. I'm not a fool. I'm someone that is here to tell you exactly what is happening. I've been in the meetings. I get what's happening. So if you enjoy this kind of content, if you enjoy the lowdown of what's actually happening in the crypto gaming space, the good, the bad, the middle, everything in between, then like and subscribe and let's get right into it. So this is a narrative I hear so often. When people lose their money, they always want to blame someone else. I hate this mentality. This is one of the things in crypto that I hate the most. This is a guy that says, today the market structure favors venture capitals who buy tokens early and off market well before retail investors get a chance. They repeatedly purchase in multiple rounds, driving up valuations, and once they've maximized their gains, they bring the tokens to market and sell to inflate the FDV. What an absolute nerd. I'm going to be going ahead and explaining it. Back in 2023, and this is all going to wrap around into September. I promise it's all going to make sense. Just please give me a second here. So back in like 2023 in Magic Voodoo land, when we were all running away from crypto gaming, and I doubled down because I was delusional. Delusion sometimes drives success. You get lucky, sometimes you don't. We had enough research into it, but it doesn't matter. Venture capital funds were going crazy. They were spending so much money in the crypto gaming space. And when quarter one hit, when the hype cycle came, who ended up winning? The people who invested early. These venture capital funds had been invested into these crypto gaming projects, but getting absolutely destroyed the entire time in between. And then magically, as if we just got our savior, we had a magical pump. Every crypto gaming token was going up 10x. Who invested and who benefited the most? Well, of course, the people that didn't benefit the most were just the venture capital magical funds over here. They were the centralized exchanges and you, the people that were investing into crypto gaming and got the 10x gains. There is something called investor unlocks. There are vesting times for these things. A lot of these venture capital funds signed up for terrible terms. They have to hold these cryptos for years. You think they want to hold a crypto for 2, 3, 4 years? You're not going to be holding it for 2 years. So what makes you think they want to hold it for 2 years? They want to dump right on you. The crypto space is PvP right now. As long as we're not in a full-blown bull market, we are in PvP mode. People are fighting each other for gains. So what happens? Quarter one hits, there are huge tokens that do hundreds of X's. We had Pixels Online. We had Mavia. Ronin had an enormous run. IMX, every token in between just going absolutely crazy. They made tons of money. And then we had everything else that happened. Token dilution. There's too many tokens out there. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tokens. Pump Fund comes out. Magically, we have 2.4 million different cryptocurrencies on this little website that Binance went ahead and invested into. There's too many projects, and then valuations are too high. People lose money, and it's over. And then what do people do? When the price goes down, the first thing people do is blame the damn VCs. They always have to blame someone instead of taking accountability for what's happening. And what's happening is what you need to understand. It's what these YouTubers don't feel like talking about it. The truth of the matter. Why are people not getting into these things? People just go on YouTube videos all day and they're like, it's Rectember, so I'm just investing into the safe cryptocurrencies. And I make those videos too, right? But I also like to give people context on what is actually going on. Why is it Rectember? What is going on? Well, of course, the obvious answer, which I'll just very quickly go brief, is, Bitcoin, every time you hit an election, season, which we're right now in election season, November is going to be a big month. We have an enormous pump. I mean, look over here, boom, over here, 2016, $700 to like 20K. This one went from like, I don't know, less than 10K all the way to like 60 something thousand dollars. Enormous pumps happen. And so you're a venture capital fund, you invested a lot of money into a couple projects, you made very good money, and then you kept investing that money. There were too many projects, you started losing all your money. What do you do when you lose all your money? You don't like to invest into more things. You are cautious. And when you're cautious, you're going to be doing what everyone else is doing because you are a little sheep. Sometimes it's good to be that sheep because you at least understand what other people are trying to do. And that gives you an advantage. A lot of people, it's like a hive mind. You've got to think about it. So these venture capital funds, they know that people are scared into September. They know that people are scared into October. And they also know historically that Bitcoin has been very strong into November. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen with these people that invested all this money? They're going to pressure the tokens to launch on November. That's exactly what they're going to do. They want to time the low. And the problem that all these venture capital funds have is that every time someone talks to you in a YouTube video, it's not about the damn, timing the market. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. There are tokens that already exist right now, like Pirate Nation that launched. This one's not doing the greatest in the world. It launched during terrible times, and yet it still is higher right now, 42% higher than it was when it launched. Does it make it a perma success later on down the line? It does not make it a permanent success, but it does kind of show that if you launch early, when the actual hype cycle ends up coming, you'll be the one that goes ahead and benefits. We had a bit of a hype cycle in Bitcoin. They went absolutely moon boy mode all the way to 45 cents. And of course, since then have come back down. So what's the correct play? The correct play is crypto, as I said before, is PvP. I also said that a bunch of tokens had launched, and now we're in a bit of a token dilution event. The cool thing about token dilution, when there are too many tokens out there, is that a lot of these projects are just dying. They didn't plan to go ahead and have a token dumping for months and months without end. So they're all dying, and we're going through the exact opposite, problem. A lot of these crypto gaming projects are going bankrupt, which is a good thing for you, the investor, because you can go ahead and time when these new tokens end up coming, and the first movers, the ones that took the risk to launch before, the ones that launched during these bear times, are going to be the projects that go ahead and inevitably go ahead and become a success. After CryptoKitties Axie Infinity launched, did nothing for the longest of time. The bear market was enormous for Axie. They became the biggest crypto gaming project on the planet, tens of billions of dollars worth of valuation, and they reap the rewards. Every time, it's the people that go in when everyone is afraid, the obvious, that end up being the most successful. Sometimes it's simplicity. Another thing I want to go ahead and show you, this is CryptoRank.io. It's a website that I personally use to look at crypto funds and investors. This is important because the crypto funds are the people that connect these projects to the people that will inevitably get them the listings that they want. When, for example, like the Spartan Group goes ahead and invests into, Puffpaw or whatever, they want to make sure they get their money back on Puffpaw. So they're going to be giving as many resources as possible to get the best deal possible to make their investment a success. So you want to see the patterns that these venture capital funds end up having, because a lot of these, for example, Delphi Ventures that I remember got into Axie, you want to make sure that they are doing similar tactics that have been successful in the past to make this token a success. You also see the same centralized exchange listings, many different similarities, because these venture capital funds, they have very specific networks that they use to become a success. And in terms of these crypto investments and fundraising rounds, you want to look into the crypto gaming projects. For example, over here we have Crypto Hunter World, Gameplay Galaxy, GameEve. These guys just raised funds. This means, they first off have pretty long vesting on these actual raises, so you don't have to immediately be worried. We do know they have a lot of fresh capital, so when this market turns around, we can common sense indicates they have enough money to actually be able to make this project a success. We don't want to get into projects that raised 4 years ago, have had absolutely no runway, or about to die, and hopefully we pray that they'll go back to 2021 prices. We don't want to take that gamble. We want to invest into projects that have a healthy runway that will be around tomorrow and will actually be a success. It's all about tomorrow. Will they get to tomorrow? If they can get to tomorrow, if they can make it into November, they will be a success. And wrapping this all around, these venture capital funds right now that are investing, I think, in my humble opinion, if the market runs in November, will be much more successful than those projects that end up launching late into November after all these tokens have launched and all that hype cycle has come out. And it'll be too late. You don't want to get in late. The time to get in is before the market runs. It's the time where no one wants to invest. That's the truth of the matter. When no one wants to get into this, when everybody is crying, that is when you want to get in. Otherwise, you're going to be trying to chase a trend and praying that you're not the top. I've been the top before many times. I've also been the bottom many times. I'm not here to be a magical guru genie, but what I am here to tell you is my personal experience. And right now, I think maybe not the best time in the world to invest into crypto gaming, right? It's definitely probably going to keep going down, but I'm not here to time the market. I'm here to have time in the market instead of timing the market. So I hope this simple lesson teaches you just a little bit about the world of, crypto venture capital funds, the fact that they are also thinking very similar to you, and how I believe that September, October will be a bit boring, but I also think late October will be kind of that little golden era period where I believe a lot of different crypto gaming projects are going to try to one-up each other by launching before the other, if you understand what I mean. They want to launch in late October because they understand that November is going to be a big month. So if I can launch just a little bit before you, hopefully I get that first mover's advantage, and I'm going to be the one to go ahead and pump rather than you. You were late. You waited until the election. So it's going to be a bit of a PvP game. We'll see what ends up happening. There's definitely going to be a lot of exciting things to cover in October, November. So stay tuned, stay classy, and that's all.